What's going on YouTube? Earth Power here with CVH.
How's it going, everybody?
And indigestion aside, we are here for the finals in the play-in bracket, trying to seed our 16th seed. The match today is our two finalists from the play-in bracket, Light Fire, or not Light Fire. No,
No,
I'm
you're right.
just
You're
so
right. You're
bad
so
with
close.
names.
You're so
They-
close.
Water Fire Rush,
Yeah,
played by Spencer Swan,
true.
and Light Fire Nature
Yeah,
Jungle Tribal deck,
yeah.
played by you, CVH.
You didn't need to stop yourself. You were totally right. You just needed to commit. So yeah,
No,
these are the two
I
aggressive decks.
fumble and I just throw this up. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, if you didn't see our season 2 overview video, these decks are battling for the 16th seed in the bracket, as you said. If you want to see the whole bracket, check that video out. If you want to see the deck profiles, they're already up on the channel. And let's just jump right on in
Yeah,
and
and the
jam
links
some
are down
cards.
below for those of you who haven't seen the
They are
profiles yet. But
in
yeah,
the old
so
description. Oops.
yeah, the aggressive deck. I'd say aggressive decks. Obviously, I think we had three relatively aggressive decks in this play-in tournament. Um, Wave Strikers and Deckletans kind of getting regulated here, just because they were. I don't want to say least impressive. That's not the correct thing I want to say about them, but like we still aren't sure if Wave Strikers is good, which is weird. We were super high
Mm.
on it coming into season one, and not so much this season. We figured it would get to showcase itself in this play-in, and then Waterfire Rush just it. So, uh, yeah, and then Jungle was kind of a brainchild between you and I, trying to make Kaiser Basaku good, and just kind of leaning into all of the things, all of the big
Yeah.
things that these colors can represent in a tempo-y mid-range
To be fair, most
amalgamation.
of that list was copied from one that you sent me. But needless to say, both of these decks had pretty solid starts. Spencer's Kook Polon there. Kook Pollen would be very hard for my deck to answer usually, but the Soul Swap brings out a Deadly Fighter, which is a little better. But yeah, both these decks are aggressive. The Water Fire deck is a smidge faster, and that is kind of a problem for the Jungle deck. It doesn't really have too much in the way of removal besides like a Searing Wave or maybe two. It has Sky Sword, but there's not a whole lot of defense, so I do have to race,
Yeah,
and that's why the Ganta is going in.
yeah, and Water Fire Rush on the play there, basically just puts it ahead. Fortunately, he missed his one drop, which is great.
Yeah, there's
But
only the
good
Deadly
pull.
Fighters for that, and like
Yeah,
Aqua Guard, but meh.
yeah. Ganta's going to be able to hopefully take a favorable trade if the line presents itself next turn. And Bronze Arm Tribe is probably the best thing you could have seen on three. It
Oh
means
yeah.
that you can at least kill everything
Oof.
on board, but not after Unicorn Fish. Talk about high tempo.
Yeah, Unicorn Fish being super powerful, Holy Oss saving me one shield. I would Searing Wave myself down to 2 shields and a flash, I think, if I have it.
Absolutely.
Because right now I can only deal with one creature. The Gauntlet that he bounced is essentially dead. I'm hoping for either Searing Wave or Sky Sword here. If I don't have one of those two cards, it's looking bad.
Yeah, those I was gonna say those are the two you want. Anything else is just you're praying. But
Yeah,
Spencer still has three cards in hand, which is
a
just
lot.
one of the cool things of Water Fire Rush. Granted, you gave him one of those shields, which in retrospect isn't looking great now, but
Yeah. Unicorn
yeah,
Fish is just amazing in this kind of race situation, which is why I think the deck is cool, or one of the reasons. But like, you're putting a thing on board, you're bouncing their most threatening creature, which in my case was only a 2-drop, but still you can see the effect that that had, even though it wasn't like the highest tempo fish. Like, if you're bouncing 3 and 4 drops with that, like, you get such an advantage when you're
You
trying to
say
race.
you say it wasn't the highest tempo fish. Like it bounced a Ganta. It kept you off of being able to trade with something relevant.
I'm saying even then
Um,
it's great, but like obviously the highest
yeah,
tempo fishes are when you can bounce like a 5-drop or something, like your opponent just wasted an
yeah,
entire turn 5.
yeah, absolutely. But for those of you who have been longtime followers and subscribers here on the channel, you'll know in Kaijudo, Rusalka with Chaser was a card to be reckoned with in Kaijudo, and it just always was interesting to me that Unicorn Fish. I say interesting; it's obvious because Duel Masters just didn't have cards like Aqua Seneschal and Finbar and all that. But Rusalka was a very good card in Kaijudo, and rightfully so. And Unicorn Fish trying to do what it does here. So,
Yep.
yeah, at
Well, while you
best
said
here,
all that, all my shields are gone.
yeah, you're gonna break him down, which is
Yeah.
neat, and then that's the game.
Yep. There was no
Uh,
way to full clear there, and Spencer just went too wide too quickly, and them's the breaks. So the turn
Yep.
that I really needed Searing Wave or Sky Sword, it didn't hit, and yeah, it was nothing else in my deck that could have potentially gotten me back into it at that point.
It's
So
cool
Waterfire
that,
Rush on the play showed why it's a little bit faster.
yeah, absolutely. It's cool that Jagalzor kind of opens up those lethal lines that I think in previous incarnations of like Water Fire Nature Tempo, and especially in this version too, these tempo-y mid-range decks that play Jagalzor. Um, Jagalzor opens up those lethal lines that we lost with the banning of Bombazar. Bombazar was such a good anti-rush card because it just said, "Hey, I'm either going to win the game or you're going to lose." Like, or I'm either going to win the game or I'm going to just hope to lose. Like, so
Heads I
you
win,
know,
tails you lose.
yeah, most most tempo decks against rush have to set up a two turn, and Zar does that with one card. Jagalzor can potentially open up that line where if you can break two or three shields early, Jagalzor with a creature or two on board can present lethal, which is neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are in game two, and you're on the play now. So, where you want to be, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think both of these decks want to be on the play literally every chance they get. And I've said it to you all. I don't know if I've said it on YouTube, but I can't think of a situation in Duel Masters in the 40 card meta where I'd ever want to be on the draw with any deck in any situation, any matchup. Doesn't matter. Either you're racing to Lost Soul or you're literally racing to break shields. It's like it's hard to deny the advantage that being up a mana is,
So for
as
those of you who
evidenced by
don't
how
know
powerful
what
ramp is.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what that full art card is, that's a sky sword. Um, so
Oh, now you're gonna
that is
explain
nature.
it.
Yeah, that is nature.
Yeah. In case people try to
There
call
was,
me out again.
there was some confusion a few weeks ago in season one with there being a snare, that full art's miraculous snare in mana, and everyone thought you didn't have a light to
And
play
by
the light.
everyone, you mean exactly one person.
Not one person, everyone
And
thought it.
yep, he was immediately corrected by someone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Spencer's start is much slower, which is great to see. He's not applying any pressure. The threat of a Crystal Paladin against my deck isn't super bad. I mean, Kaiser does have blocker, so if I ever do drop Kaiser Basiku, the Crystal Paladin could be annoying. But even
Again,
replaying
they
Ganta here isn't
always,
that bad.
yeah, well, and so after game one, the two cards that you wish you had seen are the first two cards that go down in mana out of this game, and that's interesting, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a pretty solid curve here. Um, Ganta's just the biggest thing on board. I might.
And you choose not to break there. I mean,
That
I
is
guess
interesting.
Spiral Gate is awful for you, right?
Spiral Gate's not great. I
But
also like giving him
not
a
even the worst.
chance to find like the Paladin or Rusalka isn't awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not I said
Paladin,
Rusalka. Jeez, I did the thing.
unicorn fish.
Yeah.
Hard to pronounce the syllables. Um,
It's hard to remember exactly what I was thinking because I don't have any insight into my hand. But
he does have it. Yeah, and I guess To be fair, that's probably exactly what. If Spencer does have the paladin, you breaking a shield with Ganta there is exactly what Fire Water would want to get back in the game. So, ooh, what
yeah,
do you got? What do you
you got
got?
something.
That
Something
Coil?
spicy. I'm
That or
just
swap?
messing with the sleeve. Yeah, I think it's a swap. It looks like a thinker. Because I would never I wouldn't awe here, I don't think. I'd save it until I
You would
can
just
wipe.
swap out your Ganta for a Sky
Yeah, yeah,
Sword, right?
yeah. That is the thing. The only
It's gotta be
problem
the
with this is it makes my trade not favorable, but hey,
not
another shield sounds pretty
favorable. It
good.
also takes you off a light, which is annoying, but
Yeah, I have
definitely,
it.
yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
have it. Yeah.
And, oh yeah, so I have the
Oh,
Petrova, which makes this a fine play because I just call Initiate here, or maybe Beast Folk. I think on average you would call Initiate because they're both fine
I think
races for the
initiate.
deck.
Yeah, I think initiate's correct here, just because ideally you want to be playing into the other Sky Sword, and Migalo
Said
is a
though,
2-drop versus your.
are there actually just more Beast Folk? Cavern Raider, Bronze Arm, Ganta versus Migalo, Magra, Sky Sword. It's actually even, right? So
It's even, yeah, and you get a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and or no,
yeah.
you don't get a 3-drop in initiate, but I
But
don't think
Ganta's
that
already
matters.
big enough, and Cavern Raider's usually hitting shields, so usually you would just call Initiate, I think.
And I'm sure the hand decided what you actually called there, but yeah, let's for the sake of argument, let's say initiate and see if anything changes.
Makes sense to me.
We didn't watch this back before we started narrating.
It's hard to know unless I start playing other things.
Yeah, yeah. We are recording this weeks after these matches were recorded, so to give you guys a
Yeah.
little behind the scenes. All right, another Magrisk goes down. That card's because you have a third. Okay, there it is.
Yep. Miraculous Rebirth would have been pretty sick, but this is a pretty
Yeah,
okay play too.
yeah. And you at 8 mana, with Jagalzor and essentially half your deck, you can present lethal. So
I'm going in, including with the Petrova, because the only answer would be Paladin.
right, and if he wants to Paladin to trade with Petrova, I think you're just okay with that.
Yeah, I would be indeed. There we go.
And yep,
It's
yeah.
not bad.
Here
It's
we
still
go.
maybe one of his best plays here that he could have had. So,
Yep.
Miraculous Rebirth on this Paladin would be so sick. That works, right?
Fortunately, the deck only plays the one.
Oh yeah, that is a shame. It could definitely play two if you wanted though.
Absolutely. Soul Swap's good. Soul Swapping him off of power. Well, I guess, yeah, if you don't have lethal, then
It's just huge. Yeah.
yeah. Let Magris kind of get you there. And this presents it. Yeah, at the end of the day, if you've got Firewater trading with creatures, you're probably in
Oh
a good
yeah.
position. Um, and you still have all 5 shields, which is impressive to say the
Yeah.
least.
Waterfire's whole strategy is like, with the bounce and the draw is all about like staying as the proactive player. As soon as it has to start being reactive, like Spiral Gates and Unicorn Fish really don't go far enough. It's hard to win back a board that you've already lost. Those are just for disruption while you already have a board, but if you're having to trade, it's always bad.
Yeah, you can't tell. Yeah, a lot of cards in Firewater are 2,000 and less power. Majority of them with 1,000.
Yeah, they're not good at fighting. They are just good at breaking shields, and you use the disruption to fight for the board. But he did
But they're
successfully fight for the board
yeah, sure did, and he's still got a hand too. I think he just breaks here, right? At this point, like,
with
want to
the
set your
it's
play to
the
win, right?
just the screwdriver that breaks, right? Or could break.
Yeah,
I don't know. I also kind of see waiting. Hopefully, I don't have like. I think he really doesn't
two
want to play
dudes.
2 creatures in a turn, yeah, and then I do anyway. But I have so much mana, yeah. Like it's hard to say breaking or not because either way, it just looks so rough for him right here.
Yep. And you don't have Pyro yet, or at least it doesn't seem that way. If you did, should
Yeah, I
have
would
come
have
down last.
jammed it. I think
Yeah,
just
he
in
needs
case he
to
had double bounce to set up lethal.
saw a lucky ball in his hand. That card's not doing much.
It is not.
Again, Firewater with 8 mana. Something's clearly gone wrong.
Yeah, but he can play so many things. Look
Yeah,
at
and there
how
they are.
yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even need 8 mana. He could have just held the lucky ball.
So he has to just break, hope that I don't have a speed attacker, and hope that he gets a spiral gate and shields.
Yep.
And then this sets him up for a theoretical 2-turn if all of that happens for him.
Yep. Yeah, you can't see a fast attacker and speed attacker, whatever they're called. There it is.
I get the
Cannon.
biggest one. Yep.
That is the game. All right. 1-1.
Jungle takes it. Yeah. Twin Cannon gets played. Haven't seen that card much throughout season 1 or season 2 so far. So
Yeah,
nice to see it pop off.
yeah, for sure. The deck that played 4 or 3 of them, I think, got bodied by Phantomac in season 1.
Very true.
The old water fire nature tempo.
Yeah. But this is, it's a bittersweet victory for Jungle in game 2 here because yeah, we're going to game 3, but I know what that means. Water fire rush on the play, and I just have to pray that he severely whiffs on a curve.
Yeah, you bank on him kind of opening the same way he opened this way, right? Like you've
Yeah.
seen Ganta to both games, which is great,
Yeah.
but you don't want him to see a turn 1 play, and if it is, you want him to see guard, and then any turn 2 creature that's not Koopaloon.
Yeah, I want to see, just the Bull Razors and specifically Rickaby the Dismantler is fine because until I play Kaiser, which I just might not even need to play, it doesn't do anything. No other blockers in the jungle deck.
Right. If you can stick a Ganta or a creature and break 1 or 2 shields while you race him to 6 mana, if you can be alive on 6, Jagalzor is your win con. But
I would
It's
like
a
to be
it's a
alive
tall
on turn
task.
6. It's a
It's a tall
good time
task.
to be
But we'll see
alive.
see if we can get there.
Does he have the Deadly Fighter? Let's see. And this is the game that decides the 16th seed right here. We're doing it. No Deadly Fighter. I
Twist
must be
on one.
thrilled.
Yep.
Cavern Raider goes
Needed that.
down.
Step 1 for jungle complete.
Yep. We know he's not going to whiff turn 2. There's the Snip
Hey,
Striker Bull Razor. It's yeah. I mean, he put down the one that is least effective against this deck, so he plays the second best 2-drop that he could play. And mine does not contest. That is the reason Bull Razor is better than Dismantler in this matchup, because it doesn't die to things like that.
Yeah, Waterfire, and we go over it in the profile. You guys have seen Waterfire play multiple games now through season 1 and last week's play-in match. But Bull Razor, again, you mentioned it kind of at the top of the match here. Fire Water plays from ahead, and Bull Razor is very much an ahead card. Like, you're not really worried about that effect of Bull Razor. Bull Razor's not getting his effect. You probably already lost the game anyways.
Yeah.
So
it is definitely a card you want to see exactly when he saw it, and it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And this turn, Spencer could I don't even know what he has in his hand. The only card that is maybe dead here is Lucky Ball. So probably not the best play. It looks like he has a fish, and it is coming down to bounce my Initiate, which makes sense. None of my creatures trade.
Yeah, this is looking to mirror game 1 here.
Yeah, very closely, as a matter of fact. I mean, without the Spiral Gate. And I had I had a 2-drop. I had Bronze Arm. Nothing really went too badly here. I still don't have Fire Mana plus Searing Wave, which is, again, the thing that I would need here. Sky Sword wouldn't even be very good because I can't trade, so I'd still lose all my shields next turn. It's really, there's the Sky Sword. So yeah, this game went worse for me in that I can't really make any good trades, so Searing Wave was really like the thing I needed, period.
Yeah, we played 2 Searing Wave in this, and you'll see it in some of the other tempo decks that run Fire as season 2 goes on, but Searing Wave is a strong card in tempo, and why we weren't running it in the past is again just hindsight. But
I mean, I get it. It's narrow.
yeah,
Like, it's great in this matchup if you draw it.
it's narrow, but like that card just puts you back in the match. Like, and even against like some of these like other mid range decks like Phantomac and Hydras, sometimes it just clears the board before they can present lethal.
Speaking of presenting lethal, Spencer's presenting lethal by a lot.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, Sky Sword not going to be able to do too much here. And
Did I find it?
best case, yeah.
Do I have a wave?
It's have half of your deck in your hand.
The odds are, and his
didn't.
Fire Mana. Hello. No, so I have to Sky Sword and just pray that that's a Holy Awe that I put down.
Oh, yeah. Don't have God, man, Searing Wave would have been great there.
Yeah, it would have. Would have been really good.
Oh yeah, and you almost attack with Sky Sword and like, no, we swapped that out.
Everything is new on board. So it really just is Holy Awe either way. We'll see if I get it.
Holy All or bust, and yeah, he threw the Jigalzor in mana, and that's unfortunate with the Bronze Arm track.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, with if I got Holy Awe, Jigalzor plus one other thing would be a potential lethal next turn.
Yeah, very much
so. Again, I'm just hoping for Holy Awe into exactly Searing Wave. So much needs to go right. I clearly didn't have Wave last turn, so I need to just get lucky. And I do not get lucky. It was a Magris.
Unfortunately,
the Wave was on the top of the deck. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it was. Yeah. Wait. I'm sorry. Let me just. I think I. Wait. So. All right. So I'm dead. The next 2 cards were Holy Awe Wave. So if that whatever I put down with Sky Sword, if I just had the Holy, that's the combo right there. Oh jeez. That's a shame.
Man. Yeah, no, it's and you run the cards for the hope of it. Unfortunately, we don't have any flashy finishes for jungle this time. But Fire Water makes it out of the play-in. How about that? What an upset!
Does.
We ranked Fire Water as just the last place deck of all 19 decks that we had, including the play-in and the top 16.
To be fair, I think did Dragons technically rate lower, but we already wanted to play that in the play-in? I don't remember. It was close.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right. It was close because I think I ranked Dragons slightly higher.
Yeah, you
did.
You
did. You put it dead last.
I'm not. That. Yeah, I wouldn't see it any other way.
And I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, no, we have our seeding for top 16 now. Light Nope, it's not light. I just everything has light in it, so I always start there. But Waterfire Rush makes it
Yeah.
into the top 16 bracket and will face off against the 1 seed Foul Control.
Yeah, I mean, two and
Um,
one victories. It was a narrow making it out of the bracket, the play-in bracket for Waterfire. So we'll see if it can continue the reign of destruction and upset our current number one seeded deck, or what happens. And that'll actually be the first match of the next season of this season, I guess, that they see. Right? Is that what's coming up next after some
the season
profiles?
that we're in now, yeah, that was the play-in for season 2. We have our top 16 set. If there's an image that you have for our top 16, I don't know if that's still on your OBS somewhere.
Let's find out while you talk a little bit about the stuff.
Yeah. So top 16, right? We now have, and I can go pull up my bracket as well.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Yep. Yeah, we're talking. We're hanging out, guys. Welcome to season 2. We are officially in it, and I am digging for the top 16 bracket as well. So yeah, so Light Dark Fire Nature Foul Control revamped will be the first match coming up in our season 2 top 16, which will play against Waterfire Rush. From there, you'll have the rest of the bracket, which I think CVH may have.
Getting so close.
I think we have the top 16 bracket as well. Um, but yeah, playing off against yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I don't know how much I want to continue talking if
You
there's
should
not
keep
gonna be.
talking because I'm about to put an
Oh,
image up. Yeah, it's happening.
okay, here we go. All
Yeah,
right,
there we
so I
go.
can't see CVH's screen, so
It's
he's
just the
just gonna have to tell.
matchups.
Okay, there they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah,
I
the
had to
the new top
strategically
16
crop this. We got it though.
the new top 16 bracket for season 2 bracket tournament. Yeah, like I said, Light Dark Fire Nature Foul Control playing against the play in Fire Water Rush, which makes it into top 16. See if we can have another 16th seed upset, if you will, similar to Aura Pegasus, kind of taking out Wave Strikers in the upset of the century a few months ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
all of these decks we'll have profiles for as we go. I think the future plans for those of you who stuck around through the end of the match and are still listening to us ramble, I think the new common thread will just be 2 deck profiles and a match every week. We'll get the match uploaded closer to the weekend to let that sit over the weekend, and then we'll continue to do the 2 profiles in the match for about 2 months until we get into top 8, and we'll speed things up from there. Yeah, guys, hope you guys are enjoying all of this content. We're really excited about these new decks that we have coming up. CVH and I are going to get in the lab and start profiling these for you. I'm going to try to get Spencer and Gorby in here as well so they can give their thoughts on some of these matches with us as we
Hmm.
go.
Hey, if
Yeah,
you've made it
if
this
you guys,
far, leave not only a like, but let me know who's gonna win between Foul and Waterfire Rush. Might post a poll anyway. I don't know. And
yeah, we'll
also, let
post.
me know which of these matchups that you see in front of you you're most excited for. I want to
Yeah,
know. I'm personally
yeah,
curious.
yeah, and stay tuned as well. So that's going to be another thing on the community page. We're going to have a contest, kind of like the March Madness brackets that they do over here in the States for college basketball. If you guys want to submit your bracket sheet, essentially, who you think is going to make it to top 4 and finals. If anybody gets it right, I'm going to put together a pretty big little prize package for you, and then we'll do it similar to last season as well, where we'll have
Thank you for explaining that. Because I think
yeah
the Venn diagram of like college basketball fans and Duel Masters players overlaps. Like that middle section is just you. Like I have no, I don't know what that is.
that's very, very, very fair. But we'll have a prize structure for those of you who want to guess like a complete bracket, and I'm not going to go so far as like who you think if they're going to take it 2-0, 2-1, whatever, but like, Foul versus Water Fire. Like if you pick Foul to win that and go on to top 8 and make it all the way to finals again, you draw out a bracket the way you think it's going to go. And if anybody guesses it completely right, the odds are super, super low. But anybody does manage to get it, I'm going to put together a pretty big little prize package to ship out to anybody who wants to get it, and then we'll do something similar for the finals as well. For the decks that make it into top 4, we'll have everybody take a poll on who they think is going to win the overall, and we'll give some stuff away for that as well. So stay tuned for all of that coming up. And,
Get hype.
yeah, unless you have any final thoughts, top 16 is set, and we're gonna get into it here very very soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to rewatch these matches and narrate them, and I'm excited for y'all to see them, and then let us know how we misplayed.
Absolutely, because it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
guarantee it. All right, guys, appreciate you guys sticking around this far after the end of the match. I know we went a lot longer in this one than we normally do, and for the sake of not talking anymore, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Each.